But how long can you stay coachable? Because the bigger you want to become in this business, the more coachable you have to become. So what's the fastest way? Right? They say the fastest way between 2 points is a straight line. Right? The fastest way to become successful in this business is do it right the first time. That's the only shortcut in this business. Do it right the first time. Right? So, and versus, trial and error. Now, take instructions from the leadership. Because we've been there, we've done it, we know what works, we know what doesn't work. I did a lot of things that didn't work. Right? So when somebody asks me, should I do this, should I do that, I tell them what works and what didn't work. Right? And sometimes people, they have a big head and they think they know it all. Right? They still want to try it their way, but you know what? Most likely it's not going to work. Because you know what? If it did work, if what you were thinking of did work, guess what? Probably somebody did it before you did already, and it would have been in the business format system, or the system manual. Right? If whatever you thought of did work, would have already been in the system manual. So if you're thinking of something nice, something creative, something that you think is going to, explode your business, check in the system manual if it's in there. If it's in there, that's great, do it. If it's not, you want to double think if you want to do it or not. Right? So most people think they know a lot and become uncoachable too soon. Right? They don't have to recruit, they think they know it all. And that's why sometimes for us it's more difficult to build somebody from the industry than a greenie. Right? So in my own experience, I'm a lot more successful in building greenies. Why? Because they have an empty cup. Right? They know nothing about the business, never been in business before, don't know about insurance or investments or anything. And whatever I tell them, they will do it. But if you get somebody from the industry, it doesn't mean they cannot become successful. But first, I have to untrain them and then retrain them. Right? And I'm sure you heard about it's difficult to teach an old dog a new trick. Right? Because people in the industry, they already have so many tricks in their basket. And I have to teach them that in our system, some tricks do work, some tricks don't work. Right? So, if you become uncoachable, right, it's going to destroy your career in this business. Now, in this business, we here to copy and duplicate, right? But you can remember this: whatever you do in this business, right, it has a boomerang effect. You're going to reap what you sow. Everyone knows what's a boomerang, right? In Australia, the Aborigines, right? You throw that stick and it comes back to you. So now some people say, well, I'm coachable sometimes or most of the time. But does that mean you're coachable all the time? No, because you know what? If you are coachable occasionally, that means you're honest occasionally. Right? And the funny thing is that when you ask people, are you coachable? Right? Most people think they are coachable. Right? So who here think you're coachable?
No money.
You have some people raise their hand. Right? 100% of the time? You coach 100% of the time? All right, very good. All right, I believe you. So now who should you follow in this business? Right? You want to follow your upline? Who here follow upline? All right. About 20%. Right? And so who followed downline? And who's followed downline?
Me.
Yes. All right, good. And who's followed sidelines? All right, so we have 20% that follows upline. The other 80% don't know who they follow. All right, or do you follow another leader? So the thing is this, right? If the blind lead the blind, both shall fall in the ditch. Right? Yes, you should follow upline. Because you know what? Your upline has financial incentive to help you become financially independent. Right? But also, which upline should you follow? That's also a big question. Right? Because sometimes you and your friend go to the office at the same time, you both sign up, right? But just because your friend finished his signature 1 minute before you did, doesn't mean that you should be coachable to your friend. Is that true?
Yeah.
Right? But, sometimes it happens that, well, I'm your upline, you should listen to me, but that person only in the business, 1 minute before you did. So to give you a very good example is that, when I joined the business, our upline was my friends, my wife's friends, And she joined WFG maybe like a few months before we did. And it was kind of an exchange, because at that time we were doing Amway. My wife and I were doing Amway, so we're selling soap, and I still have some soap bottles in my garage. After 18 years. Yeah, that stuff is so good, I can't finish it. So we had kind of like a kind of deal. She joined us at Amway, and we were supposed to join her in WFG at that time. And so she joined us first, so she tried to recruit us over there, and my wife went to the meeting, and of course, scenario disaster. She came back, and I told her we're too busy with work, with study, with Amway, whatever way. And so, so I told my wife, don't go back there, don't sign up, we don't have time for that, right? So, but luckily her friend followed up on us for like 2-3 months, and finally, we went back together. And after we went back there together, we signed up, right? So her friend joined WMA, like WFG at that time called WMA, like 3 months prior we joining her, and she is a pretty smart lady. She got a master's, but she was studying for MBA. So you think somebody studied MBA will have some brains and know some business and finance, right? But you know what? She wasn't very coachable. Right? She wasn't very coachable. So, and she told us all the wrong thing. Right? So our ND said, SND said, hey, you need to make appointments, go field training. So after we signed up, we went to field training right away. And the first appointment, and my S&D was like 15,000 points. And so we told our upline, my wife's friend, to say, hey, we went to field training, we learned a lot, and we helped, Eileen's sister-in-law, and she's very happy. Say, well, why do you do that? And why do you give up 15,000 points? Why don't you wait, and get your license? In fact, why don't you wait until I get licensed, and I'll field train you? Yeah, that's what she told us. But luckily we didn't listen to her. You know why? Because if we listened to her and if we waited it for her, guess what? I would not be in the business today. I wouldn't be in the business today. Because she has such a big ego. She thought she knew it all, right? So she herself was holding back, waiting for her to get her license herself, and then go out and do it herself, right? But you know what? The thing is this. She thinks she knows it all. She goes take the exam and she failed. Yeah, she failed the exam. Can you imagine MBA, you go and you fail the exam? It's very funny. I have a lot of people in my team don't even have a PhD. I mean, the public high school diploma. Right? not the other PhD. They never have a public high school diploma in the U.S., but they can pass the exam. Right? But why does somebody have MBA or PhD cannot pass the exams? Because they think they know it all. They think they don't have to study, and just walk into the test center and they fail.